Hi, and welcome to LNA Does Audio Stuff. Hey, today we're gonna be doing some sound design with Simpler. So we're gonna be doing this. So we have vocal chop. Pad sounds. Then we have a bass sound. Which is also layered. So I started this song last week when I did a video about sound design with wavetable. So if you want to see how I created bass, synth and lift using a wavetable, then go to the last week's video to check out how I started this. Okay, so let's get into it now. Okay, oh my god, let's do this. Simpler and half an hour to add 3 elements. 30 minutes starts now. Okay, so let's go and add a simpler. That is the simplest way to start it. Okay, so I like creating stuff from vocal samples. So of course, Simpler, everything that you're doing, you need to use a vocal sample as the basis, not vocal, audio sample as the basis of the sound. So personally, I like using a vocal sample. So let's go into the packs, and I have here voice box pack. And VoiceBox has my friend Maike was part of making this, and she actually has her vocal samples here, which I'm very proud to use. So personally, let's get, because this is an A minor, so let's find an A sample. Those are all FX, so there's A sharps here. So let's get the ooh, that's perfect for pad, isn't it? So now we need to make sure that that's definitely on the right tone. So it's A sharp. So if you're not sure if it's the right scale, so you can go and add a tuner to it. And now when I press the middle C, you can see it says B. So it is A sharp. So like I can start by going here. So if we actually extend this a little bit, there we go. We can actually, my mouse, we can actually tune it first. So what we can do is we can go transpose and then 1. And I'm going to go first, show classic in the first element, then 1 shot and then slice. There we go. That's A. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go and use these flags on left and right to create a loop. So we're going to pick one nice area in the middle. And I'm going to go here on the bottom of the screen and click the loop. Next, I'm going to go to the warp, and it's on the top right corner, and I'm going to go from there to warp mode. So warping allows me to actually control the texture a little bit better, and how the texture is affected with the different pitches and with the different tempos. So example, when I use the envelope, you can see how that you can hear how it changes. So I want it to sound oh, no, ah, oh. So formants up, envelope down. That already sounds cool. The next thing. We need to do is we're going to add a little bit different stuff here. So release, we're going to add a little bit longer. Sustain, we're gonna put a little bit lower. So envelope, as you know, I love using envelopes just because, especially for sound design, it's one of the most important aspects of how does the sound work when you press it, how does it react. It's so important. How does it start? How does it go when you press it? And how does it affect when you release the finger from the button? It's all about that. And it's so important. Little bit slower attack. I like that. And also let's add the spread, a little bit spread here. It adds to the spread of the stereo width. And for a pad, that's what we want actually quite a lot. We want it to be quite wide. Another control here I want to use is glide. And portamento means that we can do it in polyphonic. So we can have a chord that is gliding in portamento. So time is how slow is the slope. So a little bit slower. A little bit longer. Ooh, nice. And then we can add a little bit of filter and LFO. So they work really nicely together. So let's just cut a little bit of those high ends off so we can make it a little bit muted. And then we can go to the filter of the LFO. And you can already hear how it's affecting. It just adds a little bit of movement, but I want it to be a bit slower. So let's go 1, 2. Like that. So it already sounds really cool. Ooh, I really like that. Really, really like that. Okay, what did I do there? Okay, so let's go and add it into the beginning and then probably the bridge and then chorus of this song that we already have done at this far. So the beginning is like this. So we want this nice pad come in slowly. Okay. Maybe a octave lower. Ooh. Okay, let's record something. I could actually go where the bass is and just create where the bass is so that we can hear the scale. Yeah, that's nice. So I'm gonna just build it up. So first one note, then another note comes in, another note comes in, and so on. And let's record that. Oh, let's do that again. That's G. 1. Starts again from there. So that's really cool. I might actually want it to have it as a octave lower. Let's get it quantized like this and then highlight all of them. Command A, Shift, arrow down, and we are octave lower. Yes, that's cooler. And what we want is also make sure that our buffer size is higher because we can hear the crackling on the CPU. Yes, that's really cool. And I want that release to be a bit longer. So when we release it here, it has that like effect there. So it just adds into it, maybe not 60 seconds, but you know what I mean, longer. Okay, so let's just loop it as well and make sure that it's nice 8 bars on the length. There we go. Okay, and then we can loop it and make sure that it's on the beginning. And we can always add a nice auto filter, filtering it in also later if we want to. I'm also copy pasting it here in the mid section. Like, there we go. Perfect. Maybe even continue to the last chorus. Who doesn't like a nice harmony? Okay, so then we have this bridge in the middle, and I would like to have another bass there. So I'm a big fan of having a couple different basses in a song. So we have this main bass in a chorus. Boom, boom, boom. So in the bridge, I want to add something organic, quite like a natural sound, very low sound into it. So we're going to, of course, use simpler and some vocals to create this cool sound. So let's go and rename actually this track into a pad, and we're gonna go and add another track. So what do we have? We have 20 minutes left. Perfection. So simpler and another track there. Perfect. And we're gonna go back to the packs, and we're gonna go and add, we're gonna use the short aspect here. So one shot mode. So for this one, we're going to use maybe one of these. Let's use one of these ha's. And again, remember that it's in a wrong tune. So how you can make sure that is, again, using a tuner. So we need to be in A instead of A sharp. Perfection. Perfection. And now I'm just going to take in the beginning off, and we're going to fade it in a little bit. Okay, perfect. And for this one, actually, I want to have, instead of trigger mode, I want to have a gate mode. So what that means is that every time I press down, it plays it. So then when I release my finger, it will stop playing it. So let's fade it out a little bit. Okay, so I might warp it again and then go to Complex Pro, because we're gonna go a lot lower. So we want to really think about the texture that we want to have. Not that. I kind of like that little bit crackly. That's kind of cool. Ooh, yeah. So then we have the pitch envelope option here on the one shot. So what I want to have is amount. I want to just teeny tiny bit of pitch envelope here. So you can hear. Nice. Okay, so then we're going to go to filter. And of course, we need to add a little bit of movement here. So filter up. And then let's play with this one as well. You can hear how it's affecting it. Not that much. I don't want it that much. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Maybe even slower. Yes. So you can hear it kind of opens up the filter and then wow. In sound design, movement is one of the biggest things that we love. Nice. Okay, so let's play something. I'm just changing on my push to A mode. Okay, I have an idea. So I'm going to go to 2 bars. So we are in C now. In a different scale, that's fine. And we're going to go C. Do. So 4 bars, there we go. Do. Oh, I like the wow, the movement that we added. I think we changed scales. That's kind of funny. That's nice. I like that. So let's have a look here. Cool. And we could even have this as a base 1. And then we're going to duplicate this. And we're going to play with layers. So we have a little bit time for this. So layering is one of sound design's key points. So example, if we want to create samples or something, add layers to them to add dimension, because sometimes we need to have a little bit of a layer to add dimension, to add color. And that is something that you can, like when you think, when you're starting up, it's like, why does this not sound professional? It might be the fact that you need to not add too much more instruments, but you need to add more and more layers to actually customize already the sounds that you have, so that they sound like harmonized better, that they sound better, like bigger or deeper. Does that make sense? I'm going to show you what that means. So example, we could have this as octave lower. So like that. So let's have them. Oh my God. And then I'm going to have, for this lower one, I'm going to have, so if we kind of go to the controls, we can have it a little bit, maybe longer notes. We can add a little bit of glide. And for that, we need these notes to cross a little bit. Like that. It's like a rowing sound. How cool is that? I really like that. It's a bit weird. That is cool. And then we can maybe make it a little bit less growing using envelope of the warp mode. And the format. Oh yeah. Maybe we can, for this layer, we can add a different type of filter. And I mean also LFO, different movement. Yeah, a little bit more on the filter. That sounds really fun. shorter time on the glide. Again, everything sounds quite raw, but in the end, I'm going to add some effects and stuff to make it sound a bit more interesting. So that's already, we have a really interesting kind of bassy sound happening here. I kind of like that. But again, it sounds quite raw right now, but raw right now, but it will be fine in the end. So let's just add some vocal chops and then we're going to do some editing in the end. So vocal chops, we already done a lot of vocal chops, but we can add a more. Da, 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 da. So what we can do is just add a little vocal melody on the top. So I'm going to sing something. Need to think of something to sing. What is usually a really fun idea is do some almost like random vocal stuff, and then that actually sounds so cool when we do vocal chops. So it's like, don't overthink it. This is a good chance to just let it all out. I don't know, that was a bit random, but let's just do that. So I'm gonna drop that into Simpler. That was already on the channel, and I'm gonna, by the way, rename this into Vox Chops. And now we're gonna go to the slides mode. So we're already gone through a lot of different modes. So this is one of my favorite things. So basically we can have a trigger and gate again, but now it's about the sensitivity. That is one of the most important parts of this. So sensitivity is how big of a chops are they? So example, we could go a little bit lower, and then now if you press your MIDI keyboard and you can't hear the vocal chops, it's because you're in a wrong octave. So you really need to go between so example with your keyboard is Z and X, up and down. Otherwise, I have a push here that I can just play this. And now it's all about just figuring out where do you want to have it, so how much. So I could, example, put sensitivity a little bit higher. Amazing. We can always have a little bit of pitch envelope. Just to play around with the pitch a little bit. We can have a filter going on. We can fade out also a little bit to make them a little bit smoother. Bam, 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 it's actually quite addicting, so you need to be careful of how long you can, especially when you are filming and you have 6 minutes. So I'm just gonna play a little bit. Already, that was just improv and it sounds kind of cool. So what we need to do is obviously have them on time. Nice. It's pretty... This is actually one of the best compositional tools if you don't know how to do a melody. So example for this, I could now go and add vocals on the top of it. But vocal chops actually can be so powerful to figure out melody bits, to figure out what would be a good chorus and all that. It makes it very hooky. So we can always transpose it if we want to play around with that. But then if we transpose it, we might want to warp it. And again, we'll go to Complex Pro to preserve. Or we could just duplicate that and then have one higher, one lower, and then just don't warp the other one. And maybe on the other one, the higher one. So if this is the vocal chop high, we can have that pan random to the left and right. It's pretty cool. I'm actually really liking this. So then let's just loop those and then let's go to the FX section of this video. So we have the chorus bits. And obviously, what is better than some reverb? And this is just the production stage. So I'm just going to use the reverb and delay that are already in here. And then what I love doing is you can take pieces of these vocal chops, and then what you can do, put them in the different areas like that to add accents. Example. That is a really fun way to just add some interest. And also you can always create example drops out of these. So we have 2 minutes. Okay. So I can go and example, duplicate this. I can delete almost everything here. Have one of not the whole thing, just one of these. And then we can freeze the track, flatten the track. There we go. And now, if you use this, you can go double click it and we can go here and use modulation, clip modulation, go here, and then transposition. I have a whole video about modulation if you're interested. We can go here and just transpose this to -12 example like this. So now we have a little drop. So example, something like that. You can of course chop it, make it da 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 da. like chop it to be faster or something like that. So we have now a lot of instruments. We could, example, go to the pad and we can add some echo to it. Go audio effects, delay, loop, and one of my favorites are echo or spectral time. So example for that one, maybe spectral time would work so well. Feedback, stereo, absolutely. Spray, yes. To add the, how cool is this for the pad? Firstly, honestly, that's so good. And the same thing for the bass 1 and bass 2. I see them both bass 1s. We can also, of course, add saturator. We can, of course, add saturators as well. So saturator to add a little bit more the color to it. That's how I explain color. So as I always say, cyanote fault sounds amazing with low sounds and basses, on my professional opinion. And the time is here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe, please hit the bell icon and come again. Please let me know what you thought about this type of video, because this is quite new type of format on my channel. So let me know what you thought down in the comments. And also thank you so much for all my Patreons who are so lovely supporting me, and we have a lot of fun in our Patreon family. So if you want to join these amazing people, go to the link down below. Thank you all these amazing people for being part of my Patreon family. I really, really do appreciate you. Have a very lovely day, and please come again next Sunday because I post every single Sunday. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye.